Hello and welcome to another episode of Full Circle. I am Nabhan Kareem, and with me, like always, is Mr. Hassan Ali and Mr. Rahul Ijaz. Today we are in a very thing. There's little changes.
Plan B.
Studio में there was some
catastrophe.
Not AC नहीं चल रहा था.
We are all going to die.
In this weather, it is a catastrophe. So we had to improvise and move into another room. So
It's not bad.
yeah, but you can notice some changes in
positive ones.
So if there are any issues
For him,
in
good ones,
audio and video, then please excuse that.
Yeah. We'll get through it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm also not feeling well. I have the flu. Yeah.
So is it going to be
Also-
a downer episode? Huh? That's what
I
you're
hope
trying to say?
that's up to you guys. You guys need to, because my 1 year is also blocked. So I
It'll
can
be like, Bojack, bring my vodka. Man. Seriously.
so my right now my own audio levels are very off the
It is
the place. So
okay.
yeah, so
We'll get through it.
Yeah.
Also, did you just take a dig at us? Like always, personally and all that. Like, you don't want us here, man.
No, I'm happy to have you here with us. That's why, like, all the time, it's just you guys.
He's like, yeah, I'm so sick of you. Like, just go, man.
So it's been a while since we've
Well,
met.
not for them, but for us.
For us, yes. It's been a while. So what have you guys seen anything or what's going on these days?
It's been a really, really fun few weeks for like movies and shows. Shows especially like Netflix has been killing it with the August release, like with leading from Glow to Mindhunters and like a lot of other shows, like some comedy special as well. But we also had the anticipated Quentin Tarantino's 9th movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So yeah, I watched that one. Did you guys watch that?
Yes.
Thoughts on? You didn't watch it.
I
right?
haven't
You
seen it
haven't
yet.
heard
Oh, you
like,
haven't?
It's gonna be.
Okay.
It's
I've
gonna
been.
You know how it ends, right?
No.
be the end of that movie. Oh, yes.
It was unexpected, to say the least.
I think that's the
Yeah.
whole point of
Yeah.
that. Like, I
Yeah.
think Tarantino ko yaad. Abbe yaar, shit, I'm Tarantino. मुझे तो कुछ crazy करना पड़ेगा.
Yeah.
And then, bam!
No, it made sense. Like he is not making a documentary,
Yeah.
right? So he didn't have to
Creative liberties.
Yeah, that's completely cool with
Yeah,
me.
very-
People are criticizing that, or the Bruce Lee scene, which is
Both
it's
pointless
stupid.
criticisms,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's stupid. Doesn't make
Yeah.
sense. I just didn't feel it. You know what I mean? The whole movie, like there were amazing characters. You have someone like
Brad Pitt
Cliff
stole the
Booth.
movie, yeah.
Cliff Booth, and you have Caprio's
Yeah.
character. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Like you see all the, and Margot Robbie, of course.
Yeah.
She's the goddess of the universe. So
Yeah.
there is no
No
criticism
judgment.
about
No
it.
judgment. No
No
judgment.
nothing. So yeah, but you put them all together, you could come up with something so good, and especially with the catalyst, like with this outside element of the Manson family.
Yeah.
I don't think much happened. You know what I mean?
There was like, you can make an argument there was no story for this
Yeah,
movie
yeah.
because like it was just a bunch of people hanging around, and this whole movie is just a life. We were like a few moments in life in like
Yeah.
these two characters' lives, and then in the end there everything comes together, and then it's just
Yeah.
like a nuclear explosion of Tarantino gore.
But
and violence.
even that's cool, right?
Yeah.
Because you have something like American Honey, for example. Like that film,
yeah.
it's a 3-hour long film. It supposedly doesn't have much of a story, but there is a lot going on that
Yeah.
keeps you interested.
I think I get your point that this is a very laid back story.
Even that's
like,
cool. I am cool with. That's what I'm saying.
so
I'm cool
you-
with that structure.
So you didn't like it? Or?
I enjoyed it. I just think it could have been great. It wasn't great.
It wasn't with the hype?
It wasn't. No, not.
It was with
that
the hype,
much.
okay.
Yeah.
So,
I'm a little bit disappointed. I enjoyed it. I
Okay.
enjoyed the hell out of it. Just, I think it wasn't in the league of, let's say, Inglourious Bastards or Django or Pulp Fiction.
Because like
You know what I mean?
again, I haven't seen it, so you guys be
yeah.
I'll talk about what I've heard from other people. So what I've heard, and that's what's kind of created a hype as well, I guess, that this is Tarantino's best film, which I don't know if I want to believe.
No.
Can it be better than Pulp Fiction?
No,
Nope.
it does not.
Okay. And another thing that I heard was that Brad Pitt actually overshadowed DiCaprio, and he performed much better.
True.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah, but I have a very not interesting. I really, really, really like this movie because this is a very non-Tarantino movie,
That's true.
and I don't know if you would call it an experimental movie. I don't want to say that, but this is a very non-Tarantino movie, and I absolutely love very specific elements of this movie, especially the fact that how So there are many point of view that I want to cover with this movie. First, which is very obvious, this is a love letter to Hollywood. They recreated a lot of locations. They went to a lot of locations. The whole Western set, jahan pe wo shoot kar rahe the वगैरह. I've shot there. So like I was like, oh, वो location, वो barn वगैरह. So that, like, for me, I'm a little biased when it comes to that. कि वो Hollywood, वो Arc Light के सामने से गुजर रहा है, वो Hollywood Boulevard पे गुजर रहा है, Hollywood Hills में गुजर रहा है वगैरह. But anyways, so that's one aspect of that movie के they wanted to pay homage to the classic Hollywood filmmaking and the celebrity culture.
The Hollywood that Tarantino grew up with.
Exactly. It's a very similar to La La Land. It's a love letter to that city specifically. So that's one aspect that I liked. It didn't shy away from the dark elements of it as well. So that's I really appreciate, which La La Land, very cleverly, But the second aspect, which I think no one is really talking about, is the meta filmmaking of it's the film within a film aspect of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Okay. Like throughout the movie, we see Leo acting in a bunch of movies and scenes and interacting with actors. There are so many amazing scenes where he's acting, and it's like we are one of the crew members on set. Like for example, like first ACM, तो बिल्कुल कैमरा के साथ हम लोग जा रहे हैं, right? And they're performing their scenes. एकदम से कुछ मसला होता है, and Leo breaks character, and they're like, shit, line, like, so like there's a very what would you say, fourth wall breaking within a movie. इस तरह का scene है.
Not exactly, but yes.
But like it's very hard to depict. Yeah. Like I loved how he depicted the acting process and the filmmaking process and the relationship between the director and the actor. There's one scene I don't want to spoil, which he's like, I want to cut. And the director like, no, stay in character. लड़ना शुरू हो गए, and वो camera चल रहा है. And then he's like, okay. And then he used that energy to get back into it and nailed the scene. And then in the end, the director comes to it and he's like, that was really good.
And that 80-year-old kid.
I don't want to spoil that scene. Man. Like, so like, there's I think that was my favorite aspect of Once Upon a Time. That how I think Tarantino is one of the last filmmakers who actually love the process of filmmaking. Like, the craftsmanship of it.
The actual art of it.
Exactly. So I think this movie does a really good job of depicting that to a normal audience. What does it feel like to be on a set of a big, Western movie or a, period piece or something like that.
So is this actually going to be his last film or?
No, this is the 9th one.
This is the 9th.
So there's one more left.
He plans to make a horror film.
One more.
Star Trek ही बना रहा है, पता नहीं क्या कह रहा है.
He said, if I find a terrific story, I'll make a horror film.
He needs to start. So very nice point, Navan, because that's where I want to lead into it. Throughout the movie, I just wanted one thing. I just wanted to spend more time with these two characters, with Leo and क्या कहते हैं, Brad Pitt. Because it's such a good, I don't want to say buddy cop, but a buddy movie. Like we're just hanging with these two characters. वो अपनी कहानियाँ बता रहे हैं, वो अपने day-to-day के मसले बता रहे हैं. They're just hanging out and like, problem solving whatever, conflict they come across. And I was just thinking this would have been such an amazing mini series on Netflix or Amazon Prime. Like you spend like 6 to 8 hours every year with, just hanging out with them, slowly unveiling the characters and the personalities behind these, these two people who were, dreamers in Hollywood and how their dreams are like almost at the end. Like it's a really nice duality of point of views from, Brad Pitt's character, who's a stuntman, and Leo's character, who's an actor, and how both of their...
And his driver.
Yeah, like both are like on the decline of their career. Okay. So how are they dealing with that? So that's a really nice premise for a show. how the industry is changing and how the industry reacting to them and how they're like clinging on to whatever, fame and fortune they have.
I'm trying to revive all of it, like essentially.
Yeah, like
that's what he's trying to do.
Exactly.
But
kind of what
would you do with them if you have like 8 hours with these guys?
You could
But
do
you could- you could-
that's
you could-
the-
that's
no, but
that's the
that's
thing.
kind of what
That-
like
that's the thing.
they did with I mean, I'm not saying it's the exact same thing, but what the idea you're talking about in the show episodes, that's it was
yes,
so
yes,
that's
yes,
so it
100%,
does,
yes. The Matt
Episodes,
LeBlanc
Matt
one.
LeBlanc.
It is such a good show.
I
Oh my
have
god,
not-
you haven't seen
Okay,
that?
so it's a BBC and
Right.
US
ABC ka mixture hai.
it's a joint production
Yeah.
where Matt LeBlanc plays himself.
Okay.
After
Joey.
after Friends
and
ends.
everything.
After what?
Friends
Oh,
end,
say it.
and now he is a very famous person, but kind of a
Has been. And now he's
I'm
clinging.
not a Friends fan, to be honest. But
It's fine, but it's a really.
But it's okay.
This,
Okay.
you don't
This
have
is
to be a Friends
yeah.
fan to like
enjoy
it.
this.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just
okay.
because he's a character. He's playing himself. He's playing the
Okay.
actor
Okay.
Yeah.
who used to be on the
Mega,
most famous
yeah,
TV
television
show.
Yeah.
And after
Probably
10 years, it's finished. And
what is he doing now to
what is he doing now?
sustain his
They're-
lifestyle?
and
And
it's-
everything?
and these
it's
British
comedy?
producers.
It is
yeah,
dark comedy. It's like not
okay.
even comedy.
Yeah,
It's
these
like
British
really
people-
What's
hard
it called again?
episodes. Yeah.
So
Achha,
these
that-
British producers,
Yeah.
husband and wife, they're sent to Hollywood,
Hollywood, yeah.
to produce this new show. So they've had a hit show in the UK. Now they're
Like The Office, basically.
Yeah. So now they've been told to produce the US version, I
Yeah,
think,
something like that.
and cast Matt LeBlanc. So
Like,
so
it
the
is
entire thing is
really
about
good.
I'll have
Yeah.
to check
also
that out.
Matt LeBlanc trying to like realize that he is no longer
Like
like the famous,
Yeah.
Joey.
Star,
Celebrity,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Big
He needs to
Yeah.
move out of that Joey mindset
Yeah.
and become his own. So it's a very
It's like BoJack live action.
not everything is BoJack, but okay, we'll give you that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Sure.
okay.
You know what I mean, like the mindset of the
some
Yeah.
yes.
performer.
It's
From
a,
the
yeah,
same
yeah.
the same.
it's like a meta commentary on the Hollywood.
Everything is BoJack.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Okay, sir. Sorry.
So that's so I mean so those stories are very interesting because
Right.
I think what you're trying to
Yeah.
say as well, because we see these characters on screen but then we don't realize what happens
Yeah. Afterwards.
behind it or after the behind those
Yeah.
things.
Right.
The entire world behind that, so I kind of get what you're trying to. Again, I haven't seen the
Yeah,
movie,
but-
so I don't know the relationship you're talking. But I
It
kind of
is
get
so-
the relationship.
So the way
I
it
mean.
ends is
No, don't
when
spoil it
Hey,
for
man.
everyone. Let me just give you the.
I'm on Team BoJack. man, come on.
I'll give you the intensity of the movie. Okay.
Okay.
So like 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, 3,500% in the last 15 minutes. Like it
yes,
just ramps
yes,
up.
Yes.
Like it
So
is.
That was insane.
People were
Yeah.
screaming. Like they
So
were
it's
screaming.
Tarantino, basically. It's
In the last 15
last
minutes.
years.
In the last 15 minutes,
Tarantino
like
comes
यार
back.
मैं Tarantino मुझे अपने fans को कुछ please तो करना है.
Yeah.
Like चलो यार ये like but what I love is he planted the seeds.
Oh, he did.
He planted like he's a really good screenwriter. So he knows
Tarantino's,
how to play with the audience. So this movie is all about playing with expectations. The whole movie. Even in remember the house scene when he goes in the ranch.
To the
Yeah.
ranch rest.
So the whole scene is a red herring basically.
Okay.
And the audience like हो ही नहीं सकता कि ये सच बोल रहे हैं. Like like हो ही नहीं सकता. And Brad Pitt is entering the lion's den, we think. And then I don't want to spoil too much. But
Okay.
yeah. So like it's
And then you know what happens.
yeah.
That's it.
But
then Tarantino happens.
yeah.
Okay.
But
I'm gonna mess with
but
it all
this is
episode.
the
I'll
probably
probably watch it right after. So,
this is probably the most non-Tarantino movie he has ever made. This is not his best movie ever made. I think it is one of the good ones. I would
Okay.
probably like I would say top 5 at least for me. Because I'm biased.
So rank your Tarantino movie.
I'll be honest. I'm not a very huge Tarantino fan.
Okay.
Like insane Tarantino fan.
Yeah.
I would say
Okay, top 5 Tarantino, I guess.
my number 1 is going to be very controversial because the reason is I watched it in the cinema and I had the time of my life. Hateful Eight.
Oh, I have
okay.
not watched it yet.
That movie
But,
is
yes,
3
okay.
hours of just people
Messing
एक दूसरे को
around,
गालियां
yeah.
दे रहे हैं और मतलब they're just
That's a
like
Tarantino
it's like a
movie.
stand-up show.
Is Ganesh Gatun in that?
No. But like I like for me, I watched Hateful Eight after watching 3 other movies in the cinema the same day. So that was one of my marathons that I'm very proud of.
Nice.
4 movies in 12 hours. So the Hateful Eight was the last movie at like 11 baje raat ke, and I ended up like 2 baje ghar pe wapas aaya.
Dude, that's a
Very proud of that.
Enthusiastic,
Very,
yeah,
very
yeah.
proud of that. But Hateful Eight, I would say Reservoir Dogs. No, sorry. Hateful Eight, Inglourious Bastards, Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs. Django, I'm not a big fan of Django.
Really?
Actually.
Oh yes, I think you were.
Yeah,
you've
not a
said-
big
you've
like
said-
because
yeah.
like every
Yeah.
other character is more
Right.
interesting than the lead. So I'm like, sorry.
Okay.
I would say in the 5th would be Once Upon a Time probably,
Okay.
and then the others.
You?
Okay.
Do you,
Yeah.
do you have a top 5?
Yeah, man. Like obviously, Django is there.
Really, number 1?
Inglourious- No. I'm not
Just the
ranking.
top.
them.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
ranking.
I'm not
Okay.
ranking.
In no
them.
particular order.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
In brackets.
Coward.
Yeah, I don't do that because it keeps changing, right?
Coward.
You know, there's
Be
no
a man.
absolute- There is no absolute.
Be a man.
You know,
Choose.
be free with your lists and your whatever.
Django.
Forget it.
Yeah.
Django, Inglorious,
Mm.
Pulp Fiction, obviously. There's Kill Bill, I think.
Yeah.
1 and 2. Yeah. I would. Yeah. I think I might add Once Upon a Time in the top 5
top five.
because because I haven't seen The Hateful Eight and I can't.
Oh,
say
Hateful
if
Eight is
it's there.
it is
Yeah.
because that is also a very non-Tarantino movie in terms of plot.
Right,
It's
right.
just like एक कमरे में बैठ के सब एक दूसरे को गालियां दे
सही
रहे
है।
हैं. See, but that's the whole movie. मजाक नहीं कर रहा.
That's awesome.
But
no, that's cool.
like
then,
yeah, very similar to Reservoir Dogs, but it's so fun. It's probably the funniest
sure.
Tarantino movie. Probably, I could be wrong, but I think it's.
Okay.
I really like Hateful Eight.
Dude, special mention to that kid in Once Upon a
Oh
Time,
yes,
man.
that little girl.
Seriously,
She absolutely.
is
वो नहीं होता कि एक
amazing.
scene stealing वाला character कोई
Yeah.
लिखता है, and I think that character only works because of the actress.
Yeah,
The lines
true
that were
that.
like written for her, like they were like very basic, and Woski performance was so good.
Because it wasn't just the lines, it
Yeah.
wasn't just the actor, it
Yeah.
was the
scene, the
juxtaposition
whole
of
scene,
no,
yeah.
just the juxtaposition of these two elements,
Yeah.
because the lines are something that an adult would say.
Yeah.
And then you give it to an 8-year-old kid
Yeah.
who's talking about the philosophy of acting and teaching Caprio about it.
Caprio
That
like,
just
क्या बात
fucks
कर
with
रही
you,
है?
right? You're like, what the
Yeah.
hell? What have I been doing my whole life?
So
you
I
know?
find
It's like an 8-year-old who watches like 10,000 hours of YouTube videos on acting, and she comes on site like lecturing like
yes,
legends.
exactly.
On set, basically,
the
yeah.
kid who buys a DSLR and thinks he's a
yeah.
Oh,
filmmaker.
yes.
of course.
Which is
No
all-
shade, no shade,
90%.
no shade.
Auto पे shoot
Yeah.
करके thinking.
Navan, no, good boy.
No, the reason why I like why I'm a big fan of Tarantino is because he
Has no rules.
exactly he doesn't have any rules yet he does.
He has a signature.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have that. Yeah, go ahead.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
I think Tarantino is probably the only filmmaker who has his own genre. Like we call Tarantino films Tarantino films, like as a horror movie,
Yeah, yeah.
just to describe as a genre.
Right.
Is there anyone else like that?
Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
No,
Wes
yeah.
Anderson.
but he's not as good.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I mean,
Grand
it's-
Budapest
it's-
Hotel,
it's-
Moonrise Kingdom.
It's fluff. You know, it's
What?
visual delights.
The world doesn't consist
of.
of fire and demons and hell. It has fluffy bunnies and rabbits and
No.
ice
That's
cream
cool.
as
That's
well.
cool. What I'm saying is, it looks good, but
Yeah.
it has no soul, nothing
Oh,
behind it.
you are
I
so
find
wrong.
it so empty that I don't connect.
I
with
need
it.
order,
Like, that's the thing,
order in
you
Discord.
know.
Life
Navan,
Aquatic.
help me out.
Life
I would
Aquatic with
choose
Steve
Life
Zissou.
Aquatic, Royal Tenenbaums,
Royal- yeah.
Bottle
There
Rocket.
we go. Yeah, but still.
Would Isles of Dog?
I find Wes Anderson a better writer
Yeah.
than Tarantino.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a much
Yeah.
more consistent filmmaker as well.
Yeah.
That you may say. Yes, yes.
And
but
why
no,
do you,
I don't
I'm
find
interest-
it.
I,
yeah.
I'm interested in like wondering like why do you think he doesn't have a soul? Like that's what he said, right?
Yeah, I just find it empty. You know what I mean?
How
Like when I
can you
look at it
say
and I
that?
see, okay, this looks really cool.
So what I will
Then
give you
there's nothing beyond it.
No. So what
know
I
what I
will
mean?
give you he has a very British humor,
Yeah, it's
like
very
dry humor,
Yeah, it's very
Yeah,
dry.
something like
No,
that. So
yeah.
I think probably that's what's hindering
No,
you
no,
from.
I'm cool with that.
But like
that's not
Grand
the thing.
Budapest Hotel, like Bottle
I'm
Rocket,
cool with all kinds of jokes, man. Like
Rushmore.
all kinds. Yeah.
Rushmore check kiye tumne.
Nahin.
Fantastic Mr.
Oh.
Fox, man. Even-
I'm not a big fan of that,
No,
but
but
yeah,
it's brilliant.
Yeah.
My favorite
Isle of
one,
Dogs.
which I would suggest to you, is Moonrise Kingdom. I think that
Okay.
is
Yes.
his
Watch.
best movie ever made.
It's in my list, but I've been doing it because it's,
Trust
the
me,
same.
that
Yeah.
movie is so good.
Like,
You have no idea.
You have, is that me? That's not me.
No, but see the what I love about Wes Anderson, even when he makes an animation like Fantastic Mr. Fox, he does it so unconventionally.
Yeah.
that-
It's his movie.
so-
it's
so-
his
Right,
visual
right.
language.
No, so the movie's completely animated, no
Yeah.
motion capture, nothing. But the way he gets the voice performances, he'll go to similar locations, bring in similar props,
Nice.
and make the actors
Interact
act out.
with-
And they're acting out wearing their t-shirts and jeans, whatever, and they're just being recorded on the location.
Right.
So you have that, that
Say, yeah.
that perform
Intim-
That
like-
authenticity.
Yeah.
authenticity,
in a
and then the
way.
voice
Yeah.
perform.
Right.
Then it doesn't feel like you're watching an animation.
Right.
Yeah.
And I watched Fantastic Mr. Fox, and
Yeah.
then I saw the behind the scenes, and I was like, man, this
Yeah.
is brilliant.
Yeah.
No studios,
Yeah.
nothing, live
Yeah.
on location, making the
What
actors act.
season? What did you say?
Fantastic Mr. Fox.
No, there was a making of that.
Yeah, there's a
Something?
behind the scenes.
YouTube
That's
वगैरह.
right.
You can
Okay.
see it on YouTube.
Cool.
It was just brilliant, and he had like big actors like George Clooney and
Darjeeling Limited.
oh yeah, Darjeeling.
I think I've seen that
Yeah.
movie. Yes.
So
Like,
There's a short film which he released before that movie or after that movie. I don't remember.
I don't remember the short
Natalie Portman थी उनका उसमें शायद.
I don't remember
That I
the,
do
I
not
remember
watch
the
it, I
ad
really
जो उसने
enjoyed it,
बनाया
yeah.
था
Yeah.
ग्रैंड बुडापेस्ट के बाद लिवाइस के साथ या पता नहीं
उससे
किसके
पहले की
साथ
बात कर रहा हूँ मैं. But yeah, I don't remember the name, but I'll check it out and get back to you on it.
but Grand Budapest, man.
that is the most commercial Wes Anderson movie he has ever made.
Yeah.
So that's the best way to get into like Wes Anderson
Right.
aesthetic and style.
But like what you said, that Tarantino is a genre himself, just like Wes Anderson, because
So is Lynch, so is Von Trier,
Lynch,
so is I mean a few others. Yeah. Von Trier is his own filmmaker. He doesn't really abide by any rules actually.
Yeah.
And you see his filmography, Breaking the Waves, to Dogville, to Antichrist, to Melancholia, to Nymphomaniac, and now The House That Jack Built. It's completely varied, but you see the signature Von Trier in it.
Yeah, like I would say like there hardly like my point with the
Style versus genre.
Style versus genre would be like if Tarantino would write a movie, I think only he can like make it. Like it's a very weird conversation to have. Like
I mean, I feel you
But
can't really
yeah.
put a like with even Wes Anderson
Yeah.
and Tarantino, you can't say that this is a comedy film or this
Yeah.
is a
it's a
action
exactly
movie.
it's a Wes Anderson
it's a
movie.
Wes Anderson
it's
movie.
a Tarantino movie.
right?
I think that's
true.
a good point. Yeah.
So I think that's. I mean, with Lynch, you can
Lynch,
say again,
yeah,
it's a
you could-
mystery film.
yeah.
It's a
Can you? No, you
Twin
can't.
Peaks. Was that mystery?
What did you say? Lost Highway, Inland Empire. Everything is
no, I'm saying
not limited by one genre. You can't say.
No, I'm
So you
saying
can
that
have
horror.
action comedy.
It's surrealism essentially. That's his thing.
Yeah.
But there are so many other elements because
So-
Twin
Yeah.
Peaks, when you have soap opera-ish,
Yeah,
Indian
then there's
masala
like-
bhi, you have
Supernatural.
Yes, you have everything in there.
That's true. Okay, Lynch is okay.
Yeah.
Lynch probably belongs to this.
I mean, there's a
Yeah.
word. It's Lynchian. movie.
Yeah.
Lynch. I would
So,
say
yeah.
okay, but otherwise, I think with these guys, you can't really
Put
put a
them in a box,
label.
yeah.
It's like that is the conversation. You can't put them in a like they make their own box. That's the point.
Yeah.
And
It's not that they can be in a box.
And you go watch a movie because it's
Of their
Because
name.
it's- yeah.
It's a
Tarantino movie.
No
or
movie, yeah.
The
That's true.
actors come secondary then. So
For
they
these
have
guys,
become
yeah.
the stars. They have become, in a way. I
Not
would say.
really.
Yeah,
No, but I
yeah.
still feel like you would still watch a Tarantino movie even if he like casts
Anybody.
no one.
Yeah.
Has he ever made a movie where he casts a nobody?
I was going to ask him. Maybe he might do it for the 10th
Like
one.
Tim Roth or वो सारे
Yeah.
boys Reservoir
No,
Dogs,
he's
Pulp
always
Fiction
had.
में,
He's
No, no,
always-
Samuel Jackson.
but what I'm saying is that no one, at least from what I know, do not go watch a Tarantino movie because
I think it's not the primary
DiCaprio's in
reason.
it or-
It's not the
yeah.
primary reason, but it is also really. It's gonna be a big reason.
No,
of course,
there's going-
of course that
I think वही
factor-
सीन है ना
Yeah.
हम बॉक्स की बात कर रहे हैं ना इमेजिन
Yeah.
रेस्टोरेंट्स हैं तो लाइक वी नो कि टेरेंटिनो में जाएंगे तो हमें क्या मिलेगा वो कुजीन
Yeah.
क्या मिलेगी राइट
Exactly.
तो वी नो कि
There you
हमें big ass actors milenge hame. We'll get some crazy ass
I think for
scenes and
people,
iconic
action,
moments. Crazy
dialogue.
writing.
Yeah.
See, I feel for filmmakers like Tarantino and Wes Anderson to actually succeed in this industry is to hire big names. Otherwise,
their
I feel
ideas are so like
if they're on their
unconventional,
own
right?
studios,
That satisfies their commercial
studios will not
element to it. Yeah.
Studios will not get them. I mean, it's very similar to what Hitchcock went to. I mean, Hitchcock wanted to make these crazy films, but then he could only make them if he hired big name actors, and I mean, he had to make Psycho on his own because he was killing the most famous actress of that time in the first 15 minutes. So I think
that was who else has done something like that? Not in a show, but in a film. Like any one who has taken as big a risk since then.
Like killing the famous actor.
Yeah, and like
the only
or like just any
only example I can think of right now.
Name is Anne Hathaway was
the only example I can think of right now is Bryan Cranston in Godzilla 2014.
Oh, but Bryan Cranston
movies. Aapki,
what I'm saying is not just killing the main character, but like making such a bold, creative decision. And that can cover a lot of things, but
that's the thing.
But that
it's
really
not
opens
like,
up the whole ground.
Yeah,
like,
I can't remember.
Yeah, you can say, but show.
I can give you an example of a video game, but that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah,
shows mein to Game of Thrones is the biggest.
Man, Ned Stark, like
the only well-known person in the show was killed. The only well-known actor.
उसका भी कोई phrase होना चाहिए जिस तरह से Arnold का I'll be back है ना I'm not gonna be back. Sorry.
I'm gonna die.
I'm gonna die.
Sorry, boss.
Sorry. Yeah.
And he's gonna come back and he's gonna die again, like in every.
Nee, but I think these
Imagine
actors,
he would be the Night King. Ooh, headless Night King.
These
Tape se joda.
that's the thing. These directors.
Look, I can write a finale.
These directors need
that would be awesome.
Need that commercialization to succeed.
Sorry to cut you. A lot of people were thinking that when he would raise the dead, like all the old Starks would come alive and like thoda Stark versus Stark action hoga.
That would have been cool,
better than what we got.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anything was.
We can remake season 8 in Pakistan.
Yeah, sure.
फिर करते हैं. We can get okay, please make your point.
Yes, let's.
Cutting him off.
I think we have talked enough of Once Upon a Time. If you're a Tarantino fan, go watch it. If you're a fan of Hollywood, go watch it. If you're a fan of original ideas, not like formulaic sequels and everything, go watch it. It made some money. It's around 200-300 million worldwide, so that's not bad for Tarantino. But that's the thing, like we all talk about these directors and like they make like ₹3. Unfortunately, but that's true.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's I completely agree with this point. It's a business. The studios want to make critically acclaimed movies, but they want to bank on these huge actors to make some money off it.
My friends went to watch Once Upon a Time, and so they were telling me that the cinema was full when they got in. And then like after
30 minutes, half of the cinema left.
Empty.
It's the same thing that happened in my cinema. I'm not even joking.
Unless you guys went on the same show. I don't know.
Newplex?
Newplex. I don't know when, but
Friday night?
I don't know.
Yeah, probably. but yeah, like same. I've heard a lot of people say that because they're expecting a Tarantino Inglourious Bastard, like jungly and violent action. Yeah. It's just like a bunch of dude TV dekh rahe hain. There is a scene where they're watching their own show.
And I also feel that what my friends were talking about, that there are people.
I love that. Like that's us. That's us. Like that's how we like. Oh, ye scene check kar yaar, ye scene check kar, ye shot check.
Plus, I think when you expect like Brad Pitt to be there and DiCaprio to be there, and they're probably expecting something else.
They're expecting classic Tarantino. You're right.
Yeah, like it's like the restaurant का scene है ना, वो आप गए खाना खाने, नहीं आज तो मैं कुछ और खिलाऊंगा यार, ये क्या यार, चिकन रोल नहीं है यहाँ पे. Example.
You have this setting of classic Hollywood. Obviously you would have these characters, like you see the posters and the artwork and you see कि यार इस तरह की story नहीं होने वाली जो
not really
आप देख रहे हो.
Trailers जो उन्होंने cut किए थे, they were pitching like the Manson family का कुछ ज़्यादा ही, and उसका role बहुत कम था. Margot Robbie was used very heavily, but I understand the reason of Margot Robbie's character as Sharon Tate. I don't mind it, even though she had a very minimal role, but that was the point.
Mm-hmm.
To don't want to spoil,
Yeah.
but yes, it's pretty obvious if you.
So,
So you know when she dies is
I mean, I can imagine if she's Sharon Tate and the Manson family's involved, then I know the outcome of that.
The only criticism, like not the only,
no, you don't.
The like a few criticism I would give that film would be that I think it was a bit too self-indulgent when it comes
Okay.
to Hollywoodness. Like ये देखो हमने 4 or 5 recreate किया with the sedans, ये देखो हमने Hollywood strip recreate किए. So like we get it. वही बात है, plot वाली बात है. Let's move.
Fast forward.
Like it's like 2:45. It's 2 hours 45 minutes. Like people are saying कि इसका 1 घंटा निकल सकता था. I disagree with that. I think 15 minutes काट कर सकते थे.
So why do you think this would have worked as a miniseries?
Because that was the movie. It was just like a bunch of days in their lives span across like a bunch of years that he had to like abruptly. This movie की pacing is absolutely trash. Like you start building up to something and then it completely dies down because आप एक time jump दे देते. Then you start the story from somewhere else. Then you start the story from somewhere else. Then there is a 3-year jump. वो पता नहीं कितने साल की jump. I'm like, what the hell is happening here? So like it feels like it's been written like it should have been. My point is it could have been a much better product if it was a 6-hour mini series. Completely R-rated, whatever. हाँ, Tarantino के उसमें बड़ी तू ये पैसे ले वही movie बना but तुम्हें 6 घंटे दे रहा है instead of 3.
So
that's my point.
So
we would have. I'm talking about मैंने जो सुना है, मैंने अपनी personal feeling है. I would have loved to spend more time with these characters, just hanging out, just solving tiny bit of problems. के set पे एक फड्डा हो गया, like जो वो Bruce Lee वाला scene है.
And you know Polanski.
Yeah, like you know you could have.
That would have been.
But I get it why they didn't want it to go there. I completely respect and understand and actually like the idea उसने किया क्या. It's very similar to what Inglourious Bastard में उसने किया था.
And he treated them respectfully. That is.
I don't get the criticism of the Jet Li, Bruce Lee का aspect. I think it was a very fun scene.
Yeah. No, it was stupid. The criticism was.
Exactly. That's my point. But it's not a perfect movie. It's not his best movie. It's not even. I would say top 5, man. Okay. Not the worst. It's not the worst movie.
So top 5 out of 9.
So while we're on the conversation of miniseries, or characters, or miniseries because you want to be invested with the characters, Mindhunter season 2 just came out.
Oh man, I was waiting.
Did you guys watch that?
Yes, I did. Yes,
yeah.
Like it's like when you think so I'm picturing a scenario. आप पूरे हफ्ते काम वाम करके थक के आते हो घर से, and then you get a whiff of what you think it might be biryani, and then you yell, "Ma, biryani." Yes, and then you like your whole mouth like drooling with like.
And then instead of your mom, Ed Kemper shows up.
Nahin.
With the
But like
biryani.
for me, my point is Mindhunter is a filmmaker's show. Whoever is a fan of cinema, who's a filmmaker, is like made by filmmakers for filmmakers. Like it's designed and it's created such perfectly in terms of screenplay and like performance and cinematography, production design, performances, every single thing.
The performances are amazing.
Like
who's the guy that plays Holt again? Forgot his name.
Don't know the characters' names, but like Holt and Tench and Wendy. I know the character's name. Not the actor's name. No, I don't remember the names. Like this season was all about character development. We know you're in for the plot. Plot दे देंगे, कोई मसला नहीं है. आओ इनकी जिंदगी में let's go on for a ride. Wendy की story, Holt की, I liked the fact कि उन्होंने Holt को इस दफा पीछे रखा और Wendy और Tench को थोड़ा आगे रखा.
Holt को पीछे नहीं रखा actually. Tench, wait.
Holt is
our main protagonist
from season 1.
Yeah.
Of season 2 में he's not the lead anymore. He's the guy who has the breathing problem now. समझ में?
जो कैंपर का दोस्त ना यार, जो मिलने गया था ना.
Yes.
That's Holt. Okay, my bad. I was मेरे दिमाग में वो था.
Yeah, so Tench who has the son,
right.
You know, with the.
No, that's a good choice.
I really like this structure कि उन्होंने कि I really want Wendy to be season 3 की lead. Because like I would love to see her, because उसके थोड़ा बहुत seed तुमने like देखा होगा कि like how you know she wants to get into the action of interviewing and working on his you know on her like
She's trying to
on the
come
field
to
field के अंदर aspects. I really want her to be the lead for season 3, and then those two guys.
She's going to like if
She is an amazing actress. Like I'm like, she reminds me of Robin Wright in House of Cards. Like she's what वो नहीं होता कि like बस she does so much with so little. वो बैठी भी है everyone is talking to everyone else except her, but you're only looking at her. How is she reacting? Like, and she's like, you know, no one gives a shit, and then she वो एक चीज बोलती है and she makes her point like whatever she wants. Like she knows her authority, she knows her power, and like
each movement is motivated enough to
this show क्या performances and like it took them 2 years to put out another season, but my god,
and they made it more like I think in this season you add more urgency to everything that's happening, because pehle wo tha
because they didn't need to establish anything, right?
Yes,
they had to world build the whole thing, you know, interviews.
Pehle you were interviewing everybody and all that. This time those interviews are related.
They're like now whatever they've learned in season 1, they're applying it in season 2. So I like that aspect of that.
And I like the fact that they were actually into an investigation, and they're actually involved rather than just interviewing everyone. They're actually involved in investigation.
And they made use of every little interview that they did season maybe.
Yes, that's
Camper, Manson.
So like I want to ask one question. So I liked only 2 interview sessions that they did. The one was the son of Sam. That one. Charles Manson one was interesting, wasn't very necessary for the story. It was more for the character, Bill Tench के लिए, कि उसका वो अपने बेटे के बारे में बात कर रहा था. And I think वो जो था, the guy with the very cigarette जो पी रहा था बिल्कुल वेंडी से झूठ जो बोल के भाग रहा था. तो दूसरी दफा वेंडी आती है, जब वेंडी और उसका जो क्रेग के साथ
big words randomly.
I think
was that
I don't remember
what his name.
But he was a very suave guy. So like these two, I only care about these 2 or 3 interviews. Were you missing the interviews, or you just didn't like the interviews? So I didn't
really care about the interviews.
Exactly.
Because I think they were so involved in the investigation.
So the question is, you did like
I didn't miss them.
I
wanted more of those.
So you wanted more. So my question is, okay, so for you at least, because I also wasn't like, I was indifferent. Is it because of the interviews, like the subjects, or you were just done with that story structure के यार हम interview करेंगे, हम बात करेंगे वगैरह?
I think I didn't want them to waste. I wanted them to spend time in the field in Atlanta, and
I am personally torn, because I think what has happened is Ed Camper has completely ruined our taste for like these kind of conversations. Because like that character was so good. And it kind of, I think when Charles Manson scene happened, I was like, yeah, this is not hitting too much. But then after the first half of the scene, I'm like, okay, when Charles started hitting back, you know, it's your kids, I'm like, yes, let's go, let's maro padda. And when he's, choti si cheez, when he steals the glass.
Oh yes.
Not even steals, he's like, can I have the glass? And then he's like, you know, he was very proud of stealing it for you. I'm like, ye
and he was willing to be put in a hole for a month just to.
And I heard it's the same guy who played Charles Manson in Once Upon a Time.
And the sad part is that Charles Manson in Once Upon a Time, मुश्किल से 5 seconds का
exactly.
They cut out so much, like probably everything.
Like everything of.
पूरा सीन क्या है, गाड़ी से उतरता है, घर में जाता है, खिड़की में देखता है, वापस आता है, बस that's it. Less than 1 minute का सीन है उसका.
So he really like showed his talents in
and it's sad because it's just one scene, like 3-5 minute ka scene. Like,
but I hope he comes back in the next one. I would love to see more of.
They might do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Unless it'll overshadow the actual concept of mind, because Charles Manson himself wasn't a murderer, right?
But he provoked other people to do. That's why he's so infamous about it, right?
Like,
no, but I'm saying the importance for the...
so it's not, he's not a very traditional serial killer. He's like another breed of serial killers that like Holt was so interested in. You know, okay, they want to study all the aspects of, you know, okay, uska spectrum kya hai serial killer ka. The one very interesting thing, I don't know if you remember it or if you picked it up. मैं पता नहीं किसी का रिव्यू वगैरह देख रहा था. So you guys understand, right, कि ये होल्ड के बेटे के साथ क्या सीन हो रहा है?
Yeah.
They're they're
He's
they're seeding it
he's
to
gonna
be
grow
another.
up to be
He's
a-
the
how to
origins
make
of
how to make a murder.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I was hearing that I think Hold and all the thing like the triggers that they've been researching abusive mother, abandoned family,
वो सारा
wetting the
defy कर रहे
bed.
हैं. Yeah.
नहीं कर like he's wetting the bed, right?
The abusive mother. and
Abusive
all
mother
that.
वगैरह,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
वो
No, but
Like the abusive childhood,
because
that doesn't sit
no,
with the,
But
no,
he's
no,
orphan.
No, no, no. But
he was an orphan.
He
That's-
also says that when he's like, I don't know what he was like
before.
or what
Yeah,
his life
right.
was
That's
like before.
such a brilliant way to incorporate uncertainty like in a character, like they love him to death, they're really nice parents, they're being very supportive, but यार ये 2 साल से क्या था,
maybe
इससे पहले क्या हुआ था?
कोई meteor वगैरह गिरा होगा उसमें निकल के आएगा, just like Brightburn.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. Is it
was
good?
Shit.
अबे यार,
movie.
yeah.
It's so bad. There
Concept
is
felt
nothing
really
to
good.
it.
Yeah, that's what I
know.
heard.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, yes, back to Minders.
Yeah, so I mean, again,
What did you think of overall the season?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I like the fact that it wasn't the same old them just going and interviewing someone. I think I like the fact that they were involved, and I feel it sets up for a season 3 because that's what they're gonna continue doing.
Yeah.
Actually, I actually missed the interviews because I wanted.
yeah.
I thought they could have been incorporated. Like, of course, I get the field work and all the immediate case at hand
Yeah.
that you have to deal with, but you could have added more bits of
Yeah.
the interviews because that is one of the
It's like one of
USPs
the-
that is one of the attractions
one
of
of
the
the
show. Yeah.
main things that why Mindhunters was so good, like
Yeah.
those interview
Yeah.
series.
And then again Kemper because he
Yeah.
kind of gave us
Even in season 2,
such an
Kemper जब
amazing,
2 scene में आया, like he was like,
Exactly, yeah.
miss you, man.
and he's like, yeah, don't stir.
Yeah.
man.
But I'm excited to see what they do with season 3 because I know they've Fincher has said that he wants to do 5 seasons.
Yeah, please be 5
hopefully
seasons.
Netflix
Please
lets
be
them.
10 seasons. Like I can't
No,
wait.
no, not-
But
फिर वो 8 में फिर वो Night King आके वही कर दिया. Arya
No, I
जाएगी.
don't want that. So,
Don't- yeah,
so
that's-
why I want it to continue to how much? So they're tackling every decade, every season. इस तरह से I think structure है इनका. तो they just did 80s. तो अब वो 90s में आएंगे.
Right.
So like we know the famous serial killers of the 90s in US, then we have 2000 and then we have 2010s. So we still have 3-4 more decades to
I don't
search
think
for.
they're going to do decade by decade.
अभी तक तो लग रहा है because they started late 70s and now they're in like mid 80s. अभी तक 85 में है अभी.
No, this was only like a few years after.
No, there's a big time jump in season 2 बीच में.
नहीं
क्योंकि ये
Not a big.
but
not a big
at time मुझे जितना याद है 85 was the date mentioned in the series. I could be wrong.
नहीं
That I don't remember.
Because why I'm saying this, so तो एक तो finally we got to know कि वो जो बंदा है वो
then
कौन है.
they'll have to change
The guy with the copier and everything.
Oh yes.
The चश्मा वाला guy.
Yeah.
The BTK killer.
yes.
सही है ना. So I think he's gonna be season 3 का main.
Yeah.
And उसकी B story होगी कि वो होल्ड का बेटा is now really acting up. Season 4 के अंदर होल्ड का बेटा गायब हो जाएगा. And season 5 is gonna be when he starts killing the होल्ड का बेटा and then they go after the kid. That's gonna be season 5. That's what I'm predicting.
Okay. Interesting.
Season 4 की मुझे नहीं पता. उसमें Unabomber हो सकता है. Have you seen that show by the way?
No.
Yeah, but the thing is they are
If anyone was, sorry to cut you, if anyone is a fan of Mindhunters or like serial killer type show, Unabomber on Netflix. Who's the Vision जो actor है? क्या नाम है उसका? Paul Bettany. Amazing performance, amazing. उसमें वो भी है Sam Worthington जो Avatar वाला वो है. He's the lead and Paul Bettany is the villain.
What's it called again?
Unabomber, Manhunt.
Oh.
Yeah, Unabomber
I've
Manhunt.
heard of this.
2017, really good show. पता नहीं किसी ने भी नहीं देखा है. Like if anyone is a fan of Mindhunter, do watch it. Continue.
No, but see the thing is they deal with real life stories. So even the Atlanta one, that's actually a real story and it's still unsolved.
Yeah, sadly.
Yeah, so
28, 27,
27, 28.
28. Yeah.
Yeah.
so I mean so if Holt's son does end up being a killer, so he might, and it might be based on a real incidents.
I don't mind it either way. Even if, because like I like the same thing. I'm in love with these characters. I just want to follow
Spend
their
more time
story.
with them.
Yeah, exactly.
और कोई काम नहीं है.
नहीं है ना, और क्या करें? Why do you
Why do you want to spend time with everybody?
why do you
Are
think people love Game of Thrones?
You creep.
It's not about the plot, it's about the characters. They want to
Right.
do you want to see, Jon Snow or Cersei or someone else win? But anyways,
No, but do something. Not just like.
don't want
Have that,
to open that box again, but yes.
sure,
Sticking to Mindhunter, so I want to ask this question. I think the finale was a bit underwhelming. It like the finale of season 1 when he's at Camper.
Yeah.
It was a very climactic ending. I think because of the case, जो Williams नाम था उसका, क्या नाम था बंदे का? Wade William.
Yeah.
Wade William, Wayne William.
Wait.
So like, it was a very unsolvable case, which I think we didn't got a very clear conviction on him. So उसका impact नहीं आया, और फिर the way the characters की story end हुई, it felt very cliffhangery
I
to
think-
some extent. They tried it,
Right,
but I don't think they've nailed that.
Right.
I think everything leading up to the finale, the last 2 episodes I think are the weakest ones. Because like when they actually caught the guy, it was like, अच्छा पकड़ लिया, अब क्या करें? And I like the different take on it कि बराबर में बैठा है. We just need to find a way to, इसको convict करने के लिए evidence चाहिए हमें. But I didn't thought that they did a very good job of making that very interesting. समझ में आ रही है?
Would you rate season 1 or season 2 higher? Which one?
I think they're both the same because they both do things differently. Yeah, I think score में दोनों को मैं I would Mindhunter 1 is 9.5 for sure.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
And season 1. Season 2 I might give it 9 because I think it didn't stuck the landing too much. मैं ये कहता हूँ.
Season 2.
Yeah.
But
I watched the whole series in one day.
Same.
सुबह उठा रात के 2-3 बजे. I'm like, I'm good, man.
But I preferred season 2 over season 1.
Okay, why?
Again, I think it was because they were whatever they were doing, the research and everything now finally mattered, and whatever they did was actually
it paid off.
And also, like, for a long time I've been a fan of or used to watch Criminal Minds. So it reminded me of the same. It was the same
Okay.
department,
Yeah,
the behavior unit, and how they would solve crimes.
Yeah.
So while both are fictional shows, Mindhunter seems more like a real life, because I think it's based on the same on the real people who actually made it.
That's Fincher is one of the few filmmakers who is one of the best when it comes to sucking you into a world.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. True.
So
Like
so I think it was
Every
also
shot,
because
every
it felt
angle.
more like I'm watching
a movie.
a movie, or not just a movie, but
Like
but
it
a real
changes
like a
styles,
documentary style, like they're like we were dealing with actual facts, things that actually happened. So
I think that's why maybe the stakes felt a bit more higher because वो थोड़े बहुत taglines आती थी.
There is that authenticity of the actual situation, plus the way he actually presents it, without a lot of masala, but just as a matter of fact presentation of it, which is cool.
I think why I like season 1 more was because of the conflict. Basically, हर angle से they had to fight to make their case. Meaning अपने FBI के अंदर भी इतने फड्डे होते थे इनके के जो investigation थी उनकी पूरी, they had to prove the policemen, the serial killers, the on location जो भी case पे जाते थे, they were the laughing stock. क्या बहुत लोग पट्टे आए हैं यहाँ पे वगैरह. तो I love that because they had to fight for everything.
yeah,
Season 2 में जब वो नया boy आया है ना, which I love the story for that. He's like, buddy, तुझे nuclear bomb चाहिए ये ले. Like, but I love the other side of it as well more. जब वो उसको retire करते हैं उसके original वाले को कहते हैं, do you think I wanted this? It's because of you that I'm obsolete. Love that. और फिर वो hyperventilate करना शुरू हो जाता है वगैरह. I absolutely love that.
We didn't see that play out more often, or as it should have.
I think it was a more of a character story के flesh out करने के लिए, क्योंकि Holt is a very egoistic person. They needed a moment to shake Holt का character को कि भाई you're not a god. Your actions have ramifications for other people as well.
That's what I'm saying. Like that made sense, complete sense. it
वो
should have
hold में तो मैं
been
नजर नहीं
fleshed
आया.
out. नहीं, वो उसको और आगे आप ले
I
जाए,
agree.
play out करें
Yes,
उसको
I agree
थोड़ा
with
सा,
you because they didn't do
They didn't
that
use it,
hyperventilating thing for anything आगे जाके.
Yeah, उसके
वो
बाद
जो
नहीं किया.
क्रॉस वाला सीन था, I think that would have been a perfect moment to use that
Yes,
hyperventilation.
yes,
भाग रहा है,
yes.
उसको attack आता
But
है.
at that moment, I didn't even remember
Exactly.
that.
I think
that
that's-
moment on its own was so.
And I think that's the reason they
Yeah.
didn't do it, because they wanted the march and the parade to be the most important thing.
Yeah.
That's why by the fun fact, that's why they switched to film stock
Yeah.
during the parade scene, because they wanted to emulate the whole historical event. So,
Yeah.
that's what a brilliant show, man.
No, it's I mean, Fincher is a genius, and
He only directed, to be fair, he only directed the first 3.
yeah,
So
but I mean, he's still looking up.
he's the producer for it. So yeah, that's true.
So, and
Yeah.
did you watch anything else?
I did actually. I watched Glow ka season.
Oh,
3.
what a good show.
You watched it, right?
What a
I'm
good show.
watching
And
it.
It's
I'm
so
on it
damn
right
good.
now.
It's women, it's wrestling, and it's Alison Brie. What else do you need?
I think Glow has finally come to a show के maturity
Right,
stage पे ऐसा
yeah.
आ गया. They don't give a shit about the plot anymore. They're like, buddy, हम एक character explore करना है.
Exactly, yeah. Like this season particularly
Yeah.
was less about wrestling,
Yeah.
more about these characters'
Very
personal lives.
visual, because they were
Yeah.
but I loved how they used it in the show, that it was a repetitive
True,
show,
yeah,
live
yeah,
show Vegas
yeah,
का
yeah.
करे जा रहे and you know how it's so different point of views of how people react to something that is
Yeah, yeah.
so monotonous कि वो director Sam जो है वो चला गया, उसने कहा मैंने क्या
Yeah,
करना है.
he's like, yeah,
जो queen कहते हैं उसको क्या, who's
The Queen welfare queen,
हाँ,
right?
welfare queen.
Yes, yes.
Like she has the back problem. I
yeah,
love
and
that
is
story.
I love that part and
Yeah.
her character especially because it's so
she's-
true to
Yeah.
what actually
Yeah.
wrestling
It's
mein
all
hota
about
hai.
pain.
The people like these wrestlers, they hide their injuries.
Yeah.
They take
They don't-
painkillers for like months and months on end, which
Yeah.
actually adversely affects their health. But
Yeah.
they do it because they
They
don't want to lose their spot.
Yeah, the you know they've worked so hard for so many years
Yeah.
in their life
They
to
don't want
come
to
to
take.
this point.
मतलब so many people have.
I think इसी साल हुआ था ना वो जो WWE की controversy भी जो आई थी कि they're contractors, they're not full time employees.
हाँ हाँ.
ये भी
वो
इसी
साल
John
काफी
Oliver ने.
But ये तो काफी time से ये
But
conversation
like
चल
अभी
रही है.
एक bubble फटा था कि like
Yeah.
and they were like yeah
Because I think John Oliver or someone did an
that guy
episode on that.
guy yeah that
Yes.
guy. But
That was a very, very authentic, like
Yeah.
true episode. ये चीजों के बारे में कोई बात नहीं करता, लेकिन that is what happens.
yeah, like I
Technicality पे आप खेल रहे हैं,
Yeah.
and that affects your performance. That affects everything you do. With
So-
you're on the road
yeah
300 days a year.
Yeah.
So
So I mean, it's been a good season for Netflix.
yeah,
I
it has
mean,
been.
it is probably their second biggest show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After
Also like
Stranger Things?
the characters of
Yeah. Actually,
Sam
true.
की बेटी.
So like I want to come
yeah.
to characters. अभी रुको अभी पहले
Okay.
अभी
Yes.
अभी आते हैं उस पर.
नहीं go.
Like for me, it's all about the characters. Sam की जो story थी इस पूरे season, I was like, यार, like the way he had the whole love thing with Ruth, the whole season, Alison Brie की character. So I'm a bit conflicted because did I miss something? Because Alison Brie की character hasn't changed since season 1.
No, it hasn't.
And that's what pissed me off in season 3. I'm like, what the hell are you doing with this character? You have given her so many interesting scenes and moments so she could learn. Like,
Exactly,
you know,
yeah,
she figured her friendship with Betty. Not Betty. Betty's का असली नाम.
Liberty
Bell. उसका
yes.
show में भी कोई नाम है, but yeah.
Yeah.
Betty Gilpin is the actress name.
Yeah.
So like, you know, she got the relationship done with that, and like पूरा Sam की story इन्होंने season 3 is the focus of the whole story is Sam and Ruth की story, and in the end I'm like, what? Like, so my point is, okay, did I miss something, or is that the show? Okay,
Like
why did this is probably the maximum she could have, like in a storytelling के point of view से कि उसको कोई change की moment मिलती है, you know, when you have to face something really, you know, conflicting or something within the character. You know, she had the whole thing with Sam and everything, and Sam is working with his daughter as well. That was my favorite part of the whole
जो
scene.
restaurant के बाहर का scene, that's what I'm
talking about. And even in the
No,
end,
but that made
made kind of sense. But the last scene with Betty
remind me.
with the airport, when she's like,
yes, yes.
you know, let's go, and she's like, no. I'm like, what? Like, it doesn't make sense for this character to say no at this stage in time after 3 years of constantly.
What reasoning did she give again? Remind
No
me that.
idea. That's the reason she didn't give everything. She's like, she went into her shell. I don't want to spoil too much for her. I'm trying my best to be as vague as possible.
I'm watching it right now.
Season episode 1 YouTube पे
Okay.
So like, she's like, you know कि जो Betty के character है, Liberty Bell कह रही, like, what are you talking about? This is what we wanted. Control everything. We're gonna be the bosses. No one else is like. And she's like, no.
Yeah, this is what you want. This is not what I want.
I'm like,
that was
what do
a little
you
out
want?
of character.
What does she want? 3
That's
season
the thing.
maybe she hasn't figured out that, and she's the lead. Are you kidding me?
But like, I get your point.
Ruth का पूरा character ये है कि यार she wants to be the most respected actress in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And she's finally found Glow as a means to prove that. And whatever handout she's getting, she's like, no, I will do it on my terms. That's the character, right? I think Liberty Bell was sort of in the same character के motivation के point of view से, but she learned to adapt. She learned to, you know, वो जो producer बन गई Glow की, फिर वो TV shows से sell किया, फिर उसने live show sell किया, फिर now she's season 4 का जो, you know,
yeah, she's climbing at her own pace, but she is
changing with the show.
Yes.
Everyone is changing with the show.
Yes.
Sam is changing with the show. Sam is the most. I love him so much because he's such an asshole, but he's probably the most lovable asshole I've ever seen on TV. He's a douchebag, but he's so
especially
like.
with what
And
happens. Okay,
चलो Ruth की story भी हटा दो. Whatever interaction she has with like Liberty Bell, especially with her daughter, उस daughter की जो पूरी story line of second half में start होगी, I was like, yes. And when he didn't tell her,
don't spoil.
But like I love this season because of the characters, not because of the plot. Because nothing happened in terms of plot.
Yeah, of course.
Even though I liked some of the scare scenes जो उन्होंने stage में किए थे अपने, they changed up sometimes, they were character swap कर दिए थे, but I love the desert वाली episode when they go.
Yes, but also that other guy who tries to hit on कौन है, the producer. The makeup artist, the guy who's performing the drag queen wala banda.
Yes.
That was a very that played off, and it paid off really well, I think, in a way. When he kind of assisted the other.
Did it?
Yeah,
but end में they got screwed.
Of course. But that was a little thing that they gave him.
The scene, the writing, the scene, the performance, really good. I just didn't felt like what was the point within the show of Glow. समझ में आ रही बात?
Of course.
So like I'm just like,
point, like we are.
But end में payoff नहीं मिला ना. End में payoff क्या मिला? He drank something and कहा चलो कोई मसला नहीं. Like they took the show away from that hotel, right? I'm like,
no. But after that, he helps out with the costumes and stuff. She calls him back.
No, मैं सबसे आखिर की बात कर रहा हूँ. When finale में.
Wait.
Finale
I don't
में.
remember the order of the episodes again.
So Bush नाम है क्या नाम है? Bash. So Bash decides to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Take the show somewhere else, right? Throughout the season, this drag queen character plays a big part of throughout a bunch of episodes, right?
A few.
In the end, Bash takes the money to somewhere else, and they had to cancel the show.
Yeah.
So like I'm like,
no, but that's okay. It's not a positive or a happy
that's
ending.
Not the point. Point is,
it made sense.
They spent too much time developing that storyline, and the way they paid it off, like they finished it off, it was very like Like they could have.
I was emotional in that scene. Like I was like, oh shit, these guys, they just.
तुम खुद दोबारा वापस देखो, it's literally 10 second का scene.
Yeah, I know
उसकी owner होटल की owner बाहर बैठी है, वो आता क्या हो रहा है, why is everyone crying? Exactly. And I'm like that whole scene जिसमें वो Wolf की character क्या scene है वो, like that's what I'm talking about. I wanted more out of this whole storyline, and the way they just like
that
completely
is some of the best things that I've seen on this show.
Characters उन्होंने इतने अच्छे develop कर दिए हैं, and I'm a bit worried that this season they have like plot को उन्होंने बहुत पीछे रखा हुआ था, and it's all about characters. I want a bit more balance from the plot as well to come back a little bit, just like season 2. Season 2 of this is such a good show. Like the whole production aspect. I think from film ke point of view, शायद मुझे तभी
Honey, season 2, I think, compared to even 1, was very, very strong.
very-
I don't know, season 3, I'm still watching it. So
it's a good season. I loved it. I
really
binged it in 2 days. So
Yeah.
like I'm not complaining at all. But there were few things I'm like, Ruth ke character pissed me off really. I'm like, क्या हो गया?
I do get her
But
stagnant
3 साल हो
position
गए.
as well.
No, but
3 years.
essence-
What is it gonna take for her to change or to adapt or to learn?
That's completely fine. That's your argument, and I get that,
Yeah.
and I totally understand it, because as a viewer, you want her to do something.
So,
other than
so,
being-
so
being a
do you
pain,
think it's
but-
also an issue that, because Netflix has said that they don't want to invest in shows after like 3 seasons? So do you think
So-
like the writers and everyone's like,
No,
no,
like
like,
so that Netflix का quote वो जो ये काफी हर लोग बोल रहे हैं वगैरह is ये उन shows के लिए Netflix 1 साल पहले तक आंखें बंद करके हर किसी को पैसे दे रहा है. तुम बनाओ. ये उन लोगों की बात कर रहा है कि जो मनी हाइस्ट और ये वाले शो.
okay.
But like
Let's kill him after the show. It's fun.
these
Shoot him dead.
B tier shows जो but
It's
like
actually not a BT show for Netflix.
I know it's like
For
a Spanish
Netflix.
production, right?
Yeah.
no, but the funny
Production value really good,
Yeah,
everything,
yeah.
but
no, like for Netflix, they really. Bank
it's an
on it.
Awami show. I get it.
Yeah.
No, but what I don't get about
Yeah.
Netflix right now is that even when they're reviving shows, like for example
Yeah.
Lucifer, they're reviving it, making 1 or 2 seasons and then, cancelling
just
it.
cancelling it all, yeah.
Like
I think
what-
they're
Money
giving.
Heist is like Mindhunter directed by Sanjay Leela Bhansali. Oh.
I completely understand that
That's-
reference. I completely get
know?
that because it's so Indian. I'm like, oh my God.
so do you think the Indian version of
Oh, yes, they're
of Money
making a
Heist will be
Is it? Are they making it?
Shah Rukh Khan
God's
is
sake.
There's gonna be Berlin, Lisbon, वगैरह हटा के there's gonna be Goa, Faisalabad.
So listen, I like
Faisalabad तो नहीं
I
होगा.
like
आजकल
the
तो नहीं
plot.
होगा.
I like the plot of that show. It's just the writing is so dumb. and
Aligarh.
I'm like, yeah, क्या है? Anyway,
बहुत ही आएंगे.
like talking about Netflix and the streaming things. Just this weekend, Disney finally unveiled the Disney Plus catalog and what shows and everything. And trust me, they are the only ones who are going to survive. Trust me.
You think Netflix won't survive?
The business model that Netflix has, they're still not profitable. They're reinvesting the business so they can get the tax cuts.
They
वगैरह.
never wanted to be profitable.
That's good, but how long can you sustain that?
I mean,
So,
as long as
for
stock-
example-
stock prices are fine.
For example, for Netflix is $15 for
Yeah.
4K and 40 for streams independent. Disney is giving you for that same,
Quality and all,
not quality service,
Service, yeah.
$6.99
But I'm gonna say again
with
what
Marvel, Disney, Pixar, Star Wars,
National
all the
Geographic.
I think
National
there's gonna be a
Geographic.
time
No,
when
but-
you're
but-
gonna get tired of the
It's-
same old crap.
that's what I think as well, because
Yeah.
I feel the limitation with that is
too
that
limited.
initially it's good. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my god, so much Disney content for this, but then that's the thing. After so many years, you'll be like, oh my gosh, there's so much Disney content
Yeah.
in just one place.
So I
know,
get
it's
your
gonna be
point.
the
And
lack of
that's
choice.
I don't want Netflix to fail because I love Netflix because it makes shows like Money Heist and Mindhunters. It
Yeah.
caters to everyone. Disney is a very specific brand
I think
that is catering to just the families and
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
I think
fuzziness and
you're gonna
everything.
have like 4 giants fighting right now, which is
Yeah.
Netflix, Disney,
Amazon.
Amazon, and Apple. I think the lesser companies, I think they need to stop having their own. Like for example, NBC's announced their own streaming
Yeah.
service,
HBO
and they've
की आ रही
taken
है.
away from all the
Yeah.
shows from Netflix.
Yeah.
I think that's bad on NBC's part because NBC will not survive.
Oh, they won't.
So they
My
they like NBC and all these studios need to join forces with Netflix, put their content there.
ये politics
make
चल
some-
रही है, bro.
ये अजीब politics
ये
चल रही है.
बहुत politics चल रही है.
This will ruin everyone's game.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
My point to why I don't think Netflix is going to survive. मैं जब कह रहा हूँ survive meaning 5 to 10 years. Netflix, it's its own company. There is no bigger company that is financing Netflix like Amazon for Prime, Amazon is the cash cow, and it's funding Amazon Prime Video. Ye lo paise. They don't give a shit about the Prime Video. They have so much money. Similar to Disney. They make billions and billions and billions from movies and merchandise and everything, and they're like, okay, हम ये भी कर सकते हैं. समझ में आ रही बात? They can take the hit much longer than Netflix can take.
I don't think it's going to be very long.
Netflix has the head start. They have the variety. They have the install base as well. How long can they sustain it?
I think they can. I mean, it's not going to be very long.
How long can Disney sustain it, actually? Because,
they have all the money in the world.
You can take 20 years, say it. That's
all the
cool.
money.
You have the money.
I think what Netflix has... Okay, even Disney. If you have money,
Netflix doesn't have fans.
No,
Netflix doesn't have fans like Disney. Trust me, Disney just did their D23. It's their convention. They have their own convention, by the way. Does Netflix has their own convention?
See,
no.
Disney. Disney is a different brand.
When I say these things, I'm not a big Disney fan. I am not a big.
You are.
I want Netflix to succeed because competition is good for us. The end user.
Essen, here's the thing.
I want value. I think
in the long term, Disney will have trouble because there's so much of Avengers and Star Wars and all these things that a consumer can watch, right? You want variety, which Netflix provides.
So
yes, I'm not saying Netflix will have it easy. I'm not saying they'll have they will struggle. But for example, a show like Mindhunter, Disney will not do.
Completely agree.
Right? A show like Glow, not on Disney.
Not at all.
Right? A show like Stranger Things.
It has to be PG.
Probably not Disney.
So this is wishful thinking. I completely agree with you. I want Netflix to succeed. But the problem is, we have seen, the big streaming giants have seen that the independent movies, the art house, shows like that, they are not sustainable. Not a lot of people. The amount of resources required to pull something like that and their audience retention they're getting, it is not at the same rate as Star Wars, Pixar's. And there's a reason why there's like 1 billion Star Wars and 1 billion Marvel movies.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they don't have a place.
But it's all about money.
Have that.
My point, my justification for it. Amazon Prime का पूरा point of view ये था, Netflix को लड़ने दो, हम लोग सिर्फ independent movies और creative movies बनाएंगे. Manchester by the Sea, Big Sick, फलाना ढिमकाना ये सब, ठीक है? अब क्या कर रहे हो? They realize कि no one gives a shit about them. They're making the most expensive TV show called Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings.
Right.
Why? No one gives a shit about, like, I give a shit about it when I talk about no one in general. No one is watching Big Sick, Manchester by the Sea and these kind of shows to the scale that these company wants.
Right.
That's the problem. Why I love Netflix is that just like they have Stranger Things and their big shows, which can sustain shows like Mindhunter and other shows like that. समझ में आ रही बात? My point is how long, it's all about survival. कौन कितनी देर तक survive कर सकता है? My money is on Disney.
देखो survive.
Disney and Amazon Prime. That's my Apple 2-3 साल में निकलेगा. Confirm.
Apple won't sustain.
Because they're targeting, and I would love to be wrong, because the more the competition, the more better quality, better value we'll get. I just don't think Netflix has the enough financial backing to sustain themselves.
Unless they get bought by one of the giants. That will
if
probably
Disney
happen.
buys Netflix, oh my god, it's going to be so good.
I hope not.
That won't be good.
अच्छा नहीं,
actually,
I take it back. It's not going to be good because जो उन्होंने Fox के साथ कर रहे हैं वो लोग, that's the worst projections about what would have happened.
It's like what happened when WWE bought WCW.
किसी ने देखी नहीं है, but we agree with you.
Okay, you know the biggest wrestling war in history.
I know, but I don't know the details. Like,
but you consume it. थोड़ा चलाओ. ECW को भी चलाओ.
Competition kill करते हैं.
And then just tone it down.
See, here's the thing. Netflix the one advantage that they have, they're global. And to get on global on that size, I don't think Disney will be able to do that as well. Because Disney does not have those and the content Disney deals with, they don't have that, they don't have enough content to do that. And Netflix has
enough content. They don't have enough variety in the content.
Enough content in the sense where you can actually distribute the rights in that way. I mean, for Netflix, the amount of the library that they have, they can get rights for. I mean, imagine getting rights for every single country, for every single content. It's such a big task. Netflix does that. Disney will not be able to do that
do that,
internationally.
Right.
Yes, up US
Yeah.
mein, Europe mein, Australia,
Canada,
you know, these big countries, you can do that, right? But then are those, is that enough for you to survive in the long run? I don't think
Does
so.
anyone know the number for international customers for Netflix compared to US?
No, but I think that would be something interesting.
Because I think their total number of subscribers is around 130 million. जो मुझे last figure याद है. उसमें से I'm pretty sure 70% of them are all US customers.
70%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there are 330 million
Right.
Americans and everyone has Netflix. So अगर वो 4 बंदों को भी दे रहा है तो
सही
थोड़ा
कहा.
math बन के वही
So
आता है.
Netflix has become really big in like Europe,
India, like,
Europe as well.
I
India.
want to know,
India as
like,
well,
यहाँ
yeah.
पे किसके पास Netflix है? 4 out of 5.
I don't know, हमारे phone पे.
Pay attention.
Netflix है?
5 out of 5.
Punch. Yeah.
But we're like, chalo, like we're into entertainment वगैरह तो like
No,
but
even then, like I know so many.
it's just a
people who-
better deal than whatever cable or something that
Yeah.
you
Oh,
know
yeah,
you get,
definitely.
especially for the new generation. And the best part is कि जो उन्होंने deal जिसका भी idea था कि PTCL के साथ अपनी payment pay करो उसको इनाम दो कराची उसके नाम. Like so it's all about
कचरा साफ कराएगा.
it's all about trust me.
Netflix देख के अंदर ही रहेंगे तो बाहर जाने की जरूरत ही नहीं
हाँ,
पड़ेगी.
ये point.
When it comes to economy or purchasing power, it's all about convenience. आप जितनी आसान तरीके या पायरेसी कितनी खेल हो गई है पाकिस्तान से, like a lot. We have Netflix. We pay for
yeah.
Netflix, right? We could be watching Netflix on streaming services like
Oh,
जो
yeah.
legal होती है, but we like it's
It's
1000
easier,
रुपए
right?
Exactly.
आंखें बंद
yeah.
करके it works on your phone आराम से, it works on your TV, laptop. It's convenience.
You don't have to
Yes.
wait.
You don't have
download
to
करो,
wait.
download
Yeah,
करो,
exactly.
everything करो.
But we have other we have solutions for that, but still.
Popcorn
My
time.
yeah, exactly. My point is like it's all about convenience, and I completely agree with his point. Netflix has such a big international leg up compared to Disney, because Disney is only starting in Canada and America, maybe in Mexico.
अच्छा यहाँ पर फिलहाल नहीं होगा.
Nada.
I've seen ही नहीं है.
तुम्हारी तो मतलब नींद
भाई
ना
मेरे तो
पड़े.
दिल पे
VPN
जो
VPN
पत्थर रखने वाला है मुझे कि
VPN
यार मैंडलोरियन का ट्रेलर देखा किसी ने? Has anyone seen the Star Wars का जो शो का
Yeah.
ट्रेलर?
No,
That show looks
Nobody cares.
so good.
nobody cares.
It's like, you
And
know
by
what-
Nobody.
And then उसके बाद they released Lady in the Tramp का trailer.
कहाँ बैठा हूँ मैं यार? It's like a western in space, man. वो
Yeah.
बंदे को वो अपने grapple मारता है, he खींचता है and then he fires.
No,
at
no,
the
brilliant.
button.
That's what I'm
And
saying. See,
It's the
again,
first Star Wars product which shows blood, so it is a very dark take on Star Wars.
No, no.
So
So,
I
so
hope that
I'm saying it's
Not interested.
No, no. So trailer was brilliant. What I'm saying is again problem with Disney. They did that. Then you had like Lady in the Tramp
Yeah,
trailer,
yeah.
and you're like, do I really want to spend all my, you know? Like,
So you
but I kind of
This
maybe
is
in
a
the
cash
sense like,
cow, man. Now nobody even is interested. Like
What?
Like why would you want to keep watching this shit for the last 40 years? Are you still interested in
Yes,
Star Wars?
yes.
Isn't their fan base declining? Like
they
diminishing?
have such a big fan base that even when their fan base is declining, they're still
Yeah.
making $2 billion a movie.
Hey, I get that. Of course, I get it. It's 40
They
years.
made a whole theme
Yeah,
park
it's
for just one
40
movie.
years.
2 theme parks.
Obviously, 40 साल हो गए यार. Obviously, they would have
They're
that
longer franchise.
that, you know,
James Bond is
yeah.
older than Star Wars. उसका क्या है theme park? निकालो.
उसका theme पर
बनाते हैं यार. यहाँ पे-
बन नहीं सकता.
Rashid Minas
Star Wars, trust me, Star Wars. I think for myself.
But I think once Disney
Hmm.
buys James Bond, then they'll make a theme park for it.
yeah,
See,
yeah.
Disney can
Yeah.
make theme
Disney
parks.
can, yeah.
So
Totally.
Do we
लेकिन
need
उसमें फिर
another
मिकी
theme
माउस
park?
भी होगा थोड़ा साइड में ना यूं जेम्स बॉन्ड के पीछे मिकी माउस खड़ा हुआ है. That would be- or
Goofy.
whatever.
Anyway,
yeah,
but nee,
Disney is gonna rule all of us. It's gonna be the
Yes.
new Skynet. I know
but,
that.
nee, but what's going to happen is what I predicted way back when we had our discussion, and something that you also sent me today. One service,
Cable is gonna be
access
bad.
to all.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I think that's whoever
again the cable
whoever releases that model is going to be the winner.
Yeah, that's true. When it,
But I think the whole reason the digital streaming thing took off is choice. Meaning it's up to the customer that तुम्हें HBO देखना है, तुम सिर्फ HBO के लिए pay करो. And you're good. Game of Thrones खत्म हुआ, stop paying. You get my point? I think वो जो तुम कह रहे हो ना, I know we are heading there because of convenience. No one एक मोमेंट आएगा जब आप यार मैंने HBO पे भी वो शो देखना है, Chernobyl 2 आ रहा है या Game of Thrones का सीक्वल आ रहा है, प्रीक्वल आ रहा है, whatever it is, then Disney पे Mandalorian आ रहा है, Netflix पे Stranger Things आ रहा है, I'm like मुझे सब देखना है वगैरह.
Eventually यही होगा.
And ये लो $100 मेरे.
We'll be like in Ready Player One. We'll be.
We are already there. So
I mean, already.
More extreme
at least I know I'm subscribed to Netflix and Amazon.
Yeah.
And I will subscribe to Apple and Disney when they come out.
I said you were Disney away.
I will because I'm curious.
If it comes to Pakistan. Right.
VPN.
I just found out that
Netflix. I watched the US one.
I just found out that one of the most top using applications for VR is Netflix. One of the top apps on VR headsets like Oculus वगैरह is Netflix and YouTube. Because it's a giant ass TV. आपके छोटा सा कमरा आपने vibe लगाया. Like I never thought about that. So we're already there.
Yeah. So let's see what happens. I think the next
we await our dark overlords.
I think September.
Bob Iger, all hail Bob.
September and October is going to be a bit of a dull couple of months.
I hope not.
But
I am waiting for all the
November onwards will be interesting because that's when Disney Plus launches and Apple launches, and then let's see what Netflix comes out
with. What's coming out in September? And movies?
Nothing. Pretty much. Joker is coming October 4th.
Joker is
Marriage Story.
The what?
Marriage Story.
वो I think late है November वगैरह में. These are all Oscar season.
September.
Oscar season अभी late September से start होगा सारा. Peanut Butter Falcon वगैरह, Honey Boy वगैरह ये सारी अभी पता नहीं यहाँ पे रिलीज होंगी नहीं होंगी, but I'm waiting for these movies now.
So what are you?
And the good thing is that most of them are coming Netflix based. अभी Felicity Jones and क्या नाम है उस बंदे का, Eddie Redmayne. उनकी नई मूवी आ रही है Aeronauts के नाम से. Looks very interesting. I don't want to spoil too much, but that's an Amazon movie. So I'm like, yes.
I heard interesting reports about The Report.
Yes. Adam Driver की थी on Panama.
Some Fox.
No. That's Bombshell. That's Bombshell. ये किसी कोई US की military op की कोई थी. It's on some historical event. But Bombshell is the Fox key movie. I watched The Loudest Voice, by the way.
Okay.
जो Russell Crowe का show है on the Fox का जो CEO था.
अच्छा.
क्या नाम था उसका? Richard Robert था? I don't know. But that fat guy who was very bad. So a very amazing performance by them.
Bad fatty.
Yes. Jack Ryan season 2.
Yes, Jack Ryan coming out. So Amazon has.
तुमने देखा? It's a surprisingly good show.
Yeah, surprising.
On paper looks horrible.
It's on Netflix.
Amazon.
Surprisingly good show. But Marvelous Mrs. Maisel season 2 December.
यार वो मैंने 1 अभी तक खत्म नहीं किया. But it's really good.
Fleabag देखे ना? हाँ. Season 3 भी देख लिया.
But Jack Ryan में वो
दो आए.
वो John Krasinski is in Jack Ryan.
Is it a good show? Like,
it's surprisingly
like I watched it because I had nothing else to watch and I was like, time pass. But I was like, no, wait, I'm actually.
I think I'm watching this Russian sci-fi show on Netflix called Better Than Us. It's about. I mean, it doesn't break new ground in terms of ideas or. Like what Black Mirror does or what Blade Runner did. But I think it's good for what it is. As I think I read it in some review or something. It justifies its existence, but also
that a reason?
But it's more than that. Yeah, I exist.
Is it?
It's worth watching because now I'm so into the story and it keeps getting better and
is
more
it similar to
immersive.
Dark?
I haven't seen Dark.
Oh, you need to say Dark.
I know. It's in the list.
You would like Dark.
Dark is Blinders, Euphoria देखना है HBO का.
Euphoria. I need to start. I completely forgot about Euphoria because मैंने इसके pilot देखा था. Very insane visuals, like very interesting storytelling point of view से. And I've heard really good things about it. So
everybody's talking about it. Like even my brother's talking about it. It's like such an amazing show. Legion.
मैंने season 1 देखा था.
1 is amazing.
Legion is made for you.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
Made
I know.
in
उसमें लिखा बात है
dedicated
living
to Rahul
memory
Ijaz.
Rahul Ijaz.
dedicated to Rahul Ijaz.
I loved season 1 because it didn't feel like a superhero crap show.
It is not. And babe, the
speaking of the
boys,
boys,
like,
I saw that as
The
well.
boys देखना है.
Yeah, I
why
saw
we
it.
talked?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
talked about it a little bit, but
Yeah.
like
But-
we need to. I need
But
to.
now I've seen it.
Okay.
Brilliant show.
अरे मैं तो boys
Really?
क्या हो गया, bro?
Have you seen?
Boys.
Did you see it?
No, not
Very,
yet.
very,
Not
very
yet.
Dude,
interesting
it
show.
is
I've
not
heard,
a
yeah.
superhero show at all.
It's like an anti-superhero show.
Yeah, that's what I heard about Brightburn and it sucked.
No.
It sucked.
No.
Watch
No,
the
Boys
pilot.
is actually
5
very,
मिनट में
very
तुम्हें पता चल जाएगा ये शो क्या है. Seriously.
I'll check it out. As soon as I
The
finish.
ending of episode 1
Yeah.
is bad shit insane.
Yeah.
Bad shit
Of
insane.
episode 1.
Episode
अच्छा,
1.
मैं
Like, I'm
देखता हूँ
like,
फिर.
like that character, the
Yeah.
villain of The Boys is probably the best villain I have seen in television in a very long time. I'm being very careful with my word. I'm pretty sure it's one of the best villains I've seen in at least 5 saal.
No, it's
Joffrey is probably what would be the last good
Okay.
villain.
it's a brilliant show. Very, very nice.
Trust
I'll
me.
check it out.
Highly recommend. Do watch
Yeah.
it. 8 episodes, bro. क्या कर
Jack
Yeah.
Ryan, The
Jack
Boys,
Ryan, The Boys.
Euphoria,
Basically, spend the
Dark.
next few days on Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I could. I have to write my own shit.
Who cares?
But yes. Yeah.
Party.
Oh, we have to discuss बाद में.
Sure.
बाद में. हाँ.
Okay. So, but before we sign off, the majorly exciting news about the Joker trailer.
I know this movie is going to be really good. I didn't like the trailer compared to trailer 1. Trailer 1 is one of the best trailers I've ever seen. Second trailer, it sold me more on the story. Okay, I had, like, a lot of people had the worry that it might be just like a Joker naach raha hai, ye kar raha hai, wo kar raha hai, like story nahi hogi, like very artsy fartsy. No, this is a very like character based plot कम होगा इसमें, character
Right.
based ज़्यादा होगी, but there will be a story, there will be some interesting
So,
action
मतलब
and performance.
Joaquin Phoenix को Oscar शायद मिल जाए.
So
Yeah.
I think this movie is going to be the first movie ever in history, I could be wrong, that 2 actors will win best actor or actress
For the
on the
same
same
character.
character. I could be wrong on this. Has there ever been कि एक ही जेम्स बॉन्ड के कैरेक्टर को 2 मिले हो?
James
दो
Bond
different
कभी भी नहीं
characters.
मिला.
No, but उसको best supporting मिला था. He might
But like,
win the
but still,
best
अगर वो
actor.
लीड होता उसको
Yeah,
वो मिल जाता,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So like,
it-
this is why I
could be,
think,
yeah.
again,
Could be
you
huge.
still disagree with me, but this is
It
why I
could be
think
huge.
Batman is the best fictional character ever made. And
shut
one of the
up, man.
reasons is
Just no.
the Joker.
Joker is the best
No.
villain ever written.
That is
Yeah,
fact.
that's true.
Hands
But
down.
मैं character की बात कर रहा हूँ, not
Bruce Wayne is shit, man. No, like, come on. He's nobody. If you take away all his,
Can we mute him? Yes.
ये किसको
हाँ नबान तो
मुझे नहीं अच्छा
चलो यार कोई मसला नहीं. That's what you get for saying stupid things.
Bruce Wayne is stupid, man. Come on. Yeah. So,
यार दोबारा हाँ नबान हाँ.
I will smoke until
उसका
then.
कैमरा की बैटरी भी बीच में बंद हो गई.
Is the universe trying to say something to you, man?
Yeah,
Not me.
I'll just go
Not
have a
me,
smoke
it's not
until
me.
you come back.
But
Okay.
I'm very doubtful for the director because he's from a comedy background, like mostly like Hangover series वगैरह, Todd Phillips. The producer, the visuals alone look so amazing. Like Jesus, जब वो उसको कहता है, all I have are negative thoughts. I'm like,
Yeah.
But it's actually interesting. The choice of director is actually
Yes,
the choice
I
of
get it.
Yeah,
choice of
yeah.
director is actually pretty interesting because
that's why I'm a bit
you have-
skeptical.
No,
'cause
I'm
he's
actually-
been nailing every single promotion
Yeah.
and you नहीं होती कि एक look जो आप present करते हो एक show के लिए.
No, you know why I find it interesting because he's a director who's done comedy.
Yeah.
He directs comedy.
Yeah.
And the story is about a
Comedian,
failed
yeah.
stand-up
Yeah.
comedian doing so, and you know, for
Yeah.
those of you people know, like stand-up comedy has a very dark,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
you know, like
Elements. to it.
element.
Also, like the fact that they introduced King of Comedy. Scorsese.
So this is my concern because I didn't knew about this, but like people now started saying that this is very similar to King of Comedy, जो Martin Scorsese की movie थी. There are very similar shots, similar story about the character.
They incorporated that bit into because
But that's my point.
exactly where
like,
you was good. Yeah.
filmmaking terms में yes, Instagram में you follow a lot of film accounts वगैरह तो उसमें cinematic parallels कहते हैं इनको like वो देखो was inspired. When does it become an inspiration and when does it become like complete chapna?
Movie.
That's what I'm worried about. I don't want this to be like a copy of. I hope. I hope. Yeah.
Is
paying homage to it
because not just that, but they've incorporated that King of Comedy world into this world. This is an extension of it. Like it's connected to that world. You see, because if you have you seen that movie?
No, I haven't seen it.
Achha, check it out. And then you will see कि okay हाँ यहाँ पे ये scene हुआ था and now you have in the same world you have this Joker.
I get it. I am very I'm keeping my expectation to
because it's something like
it looks insane.
It
looks on par of Dark Knight and Logan.
Yeah.
So I don't want to put too much pressure on the movie. I just want to see. I just want to judge the movie for what it is, not what I expect it to be. Because I've been bound.
I'm excited to see Joaquin Phoenix back in action.
Oh man, that dude is
brilliant.
Favorite performance of Joaquin Phoenix? Her,
the master.
Yeah.
Master.
These two, like, absolutely.
Her, yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
Her, completely different dude. You see this guy in the master. And then you see him as the Joker. Like even
has he won an Oscar yet? No, he has been nominated. I'm pretty sure he's been nominated.
I think he has won it.
I doubt he has won. Maybe supporting.
I don't think he's won.
I don't think he's won either. What if he wins for it?
He might, judging. I mean, let's wait for the movie to come out. I'm excited to watch it. And so, thank you for today,
boys.
We shall
the boys
meet again.
The boys, please watch The Boys.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. Bye-bye.
Bye.